What's going on, guys? We are here with another stream. I think my headset is plugged in. Yeah, it is. Alright, so yeah, we're just doing some icon swaps, some chilled icon swaps, because they brought it out yesterday. I'm going for the 83 times 25 pack. So yeah, I've sorted out the camera a little bit. It looks a little bit, actually, I don't know, it probably needs to be a bit brighter. Oh, who cares? I'll do that in a bit. But yeah, we're going for that pack, and I've already played 3 games off stream and then had some foods, and now we are here. I'll show you the progress quickly. So yeah, what I'm doing is killing 2 birds with 1 stone twice. So we're doing Brazilian Champions League at the same time. Costed loads, by the way. I had to spend about 60 or 70k. I've got no coins left, but I can easily sell them again once I finish these 3 games. So yeah, Champions League and Brazilian, and then after that, which I'm going to do tomorrow and Thursday probably, we're going Argentinian and Silver at the same time. So once we get these 4 done, I will have 5, and I'll be opening the 83 times 25 pack. I don't know, it's either going to be this Thursday or I'm going to save it for the Thursday after for Team 2. I guess I'll have to talk to you guys about that. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to sort out my stream settings, and then we're going to get into the chat, play these games, and then chill. I need to get the daily SBC done as well, because I got a mega pack from that. There's a player actually in the SBCs that I really like. Vidal is a player who looks absolutely unbelievable, and I'm really thinking about doing him. I don't know if I'm actually going to, but I would really love to, because as you can see, he's on my favourites here. You need to complete 3 squads, an 86, an 85 and an 84. I've already completed the 86 one with the Inform, as you can see here, but I've not submitted it yet because I still need to, you know, I've still got a little bit of time before I decide whether I want to do this or not. So yeah, we've got this team done at least, just in case I want to do it. And I went and tried another one. I don't think I've got enough fodder, but in this one I've got an 84 rated team, but no team of the week. So yeah, this one could probably be for the 84 one, and then if I get enough fodder over the next week or 2, then we can probably go for the 85. So yeah, guys, let me know whether you think it'd be a good idea to do Vidal or not, because he does look like a really good card. If you look at his stats, he is unbelievable. I think he's going to be one of the best, like, CDMs, midfielders, like, in the game. From my personal perspective, 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. His pace is obviously good enough. You give him a shadow or a hunter, depending on where you want to play him. He just looks very good, doesn't he? You know, every stat is in green. The only stat that is light green is free kick accuracy, 74. But everything else is full dark green, which means it's 80 plus at least. So yeah, 90 physical, 89 defending, 87 dribbling, 86 passing, 88 shooting, and obviously the pace can be boosted through you know, a chem style. So what a card, guys. Honestly, this would be a perfect replacement for Kante. He fits in the team, you know, because I've got Ronaldo and Martinez, Lautaro Martinez. I'll actually show you guys now what I was thinking of doing here. My squad, this is just my Brazilian Champions League team that I'm doing for the icon swaps, so yeah, don't pay attention to that. Did cost a lot though. Got to say, if you want to do it this way, it's going to cost a lot of coins, but so you're going to have to sell them on again. Right, just do these quick. Right, we're going to change squad. So I put Vidal in just to see how he would fit. Obviously I've got Alessandrini, haven't I? So he would have to drop down to the bench, because Martinez will go in instead on the right side to fit Vidal in, and everybody's fine there. Everybody's fine with Vidal. So yeah, we're all good. He would fit perfectly. I may as well just put in the card in terms of the concept instead of his 83, so it just looks a bit better. But yeah, I think he'd be perfect, guys. Kante has been a bit of a letdown, hasn't he? He's been good in terms of defensively, but his passing letting me down quite a lot of certain moments. He's letting me down in, and I think Vidal would rectify those bad things that Kante is doing. So yeah, if you look at his passing, look, his short pass is 88, his long pass is 87. I don't think that's going to let me down, and also the weak foot isn't going to let me down either. I mean, you see Kante's pass in the weekend league a little bit earlier. 3-star weak foot, trying to play just a simple through ball to Robertson. He scuffed it, we concede a goal. I think with Vidal, I don't think that he would scuff that. It would just be a normal pass, and there wouldn't be a problem. So I'm really thinking about doing it. I'm really thinking about doing it because obviously he's a Serie A player, fits in with Ronaldo, fits with Lautaro Martinez. For me, in terms of how he fits, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, got to see whether I actually go ahead and do it. What's up, Cole Monster? What's up, Max Clark? What's up, Purple? What's up, Rebic? You can do any SBCs? Yeah, just one. I'm just going to be doing the daily SBC. What's up, Connor Hayes? I'm doing fine, thanks. Rest in peace, Claude. Yeah, that's such sad news. That really is. That's such sad news. I saw a few videos of him a little bit earlier, and you know, the one that stood out for me was the one where he was so happy after Arsenal won the FA Cup. So you know, it's just good to see him so happy in that video. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Sebastian? The pack locks turned up yesterday. I got Moments Petr Cech, Makaleli SBC pack, and got CR7 from 82 plus. Oh my god, that's nice, Benjamin. Pack luck picking up for you. Get the 83 times 25 and do Vidal, bro. He's unreal. Yeah. I don't know whether I want to open, if I do the 83 times 25 pack, whether I want to open it on the Friday or the Thursday, because we've got Team 2 coming out. I don't know whether it's going to be better than Team 1 or not. We have a Renato Sanchez coming. Don't do Vidal. Oh really? That could be interesting. I don't know. Renato Sanchez, he is. Oh god, I forgot it. He's French, isn't he? Unless I'm. No, he's Portuguese. Portuguese, my fucking bad. He's Portuguese, but he's in the French league. There we go. Okay, that's interesting. So I mean, he would obviously get a link with Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, but no link with the right player on the right. But yeah, Renato Sanchez would be really nice. I think Vidal is definitely a top card as well, though. Do it, he'll be better until team of the season starts. Yeah, and probably it'd still be good even during team of the season, in my opinion. You know, a bit like the David Luiz, if you remember a few years back. Did you see the Renato Sanchez leak? No, I haven't seen the leak card. He just called Sanchez French. Yeah, it was just a mistake. I know he's Portuguese. I just fucked it up because he's in the French league, isn't he? I was looking at Alessandrini. I was thinking, what does he link with Alessandrini? With that guy saying that? So I just said that. I know he's Portuguese. I saw him playing for Portugal the other night. Just one of those little mistakes. Out of curiosity, what time do you get up since you stream so late? Well, today I was actually going to stream earlier, but we had quite a few events going on, which slowed everything down, which is annoying. Think about checking the Lee's Melu card. Yeah, some of you guys were telling me about that earlier. Have you tried to do something about that background noise? There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately, because the PS4 is so loud. I wish I could do something about that, but PS5 would solve it. Can't do anything about it until then. Right. So what's this card about? Oh. All right. It looks good. And he fits in, doesn't he, because of Desai and Alessandrini. I think Vidal will be better though. There's something about the Vidal card that just looks too overpowered. What's his height? 6'1". High. What's Vidal's work rate? So I need to check. Oh, high as well. I just think Vidal will be a lot. Just seeing all those stats in green, it tells me he's just going to be much better. I just know he's going to be quality. Right. I think I may as well start now. Start playing. Inter's new badge. Oh yeah, they got a new one like Juve. So yeah, anyway, that Vidal will look good in that he obviously fits very well. And yeah, I'd love to do. I'd love to. Yeah, anyway, apologies if I've started streaming a little bit late. I'm only playing 3 squad battles games anyway, so I'll be finished like pretty quickly. I would have streamed a little bit earlier, but yeah, well, I actually did play 3 games off stream earlier, and then got some food, and then came on. I could have started this stream about 2 hours ago, maybe even longer than that. But yeah, a few things happened earlier which kind of delayed my day a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Right. Let's play. Oh, I need to change my team again, don't I? Can't even play with this anymore. Thank God we got this Lautaro anyway, because that solves a lot of problems in terms of getting a Italian league right mid. What's up, Dean Ross? Need eye contact so I can get shafted again. Will you do Eric Bailly? What, is he going to be out soon? Is that like one of the is that one of the leaked cards? Yeah, guys, I thought you weren't going to go live tonight when I checked 11:30 PM. Yeah, I was just a little bit slow going live. I've already played 3 games today anyway, but off stream, so I just didn't like the idea of playing. My plan was do 3 games off stream, get some food, and then do 3 games on stream. And yeah, that's why I've kind of done it quite late. Got a fucking itch on my eye. There we go. Glad to see you go for the Vidal card. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, I think he'd just be worth going for. The stats are just too good. It's just the way he fits in the team as well, with Lautaro Martinez and Ronaldo there. You know, for me, with the quality of the card and with the shape of my team, he would be. I would have to try. So anyway, guys, in terms of icon swaps, as I said at the start of this, we're going to be. What we're doing is doing Champions League and Brazilian at the same time, and then Argentinian and Silver at the same time. So we'll be getting 4 icon swaps done in the time it takes to just do 2. So it's a lot of time saved there. Might need to increase the brightness a little bit as well. I think I look quite tired on camera actually, but oh well. I am a little bit sleepy, so fuck it. Let me switch to him. Because when you hit 20k, can you sing a song, mate? 20k special. Sing a song? A song? That'd be weird. I could somehow try and make a track with my own vocals in, but I don't know how that would go down. I think I'd probably do an okay job of it. Personally, with how I know I can make music, I think I could do an okay job of maybe just doing like a small line or something. Like a long line of it, and then get it in key to add to a drop or something. I'd have to definitely auto-tune it though. There would not be any other way. What? How does he miss that? Boy, it looks decent, it doesn't fit in, guys. Is he already in the game, or is it leaked? Is he coming out tomorrow or something? I don't know. Or is it an objective? I have no clue. It seems as if some of you guys know how good the card is. Bellingham. He is a class player, isn't he? He's the future in midfield for England. He should definitely stay at Dortmund to continue his development. I want to use this Owen a little bit more, so that's why I'm using him in the icon swaps, just so I can experience the card a little bit, score a few goals with him. So when I do get rid of him, it's like at least I used him. What's up, mobs? You was in GTA with us, I remember, like a few months back. I'm doing 81 times 10, I think it is. No, it's 25 81s, I think. Which you only need 2 for, don't you? But trust me, guys, doing the current squad battles icon swaps is easy as fuck. Because all you have to do is Silver and Argentina at the same time gets 2 done, and Champions League and Brazil at the same time gets another 2 done. So you're getting 4 done, like, while pretty much in the time it takes to just do 2. So you're pretty much like so close to getting the 83 times 25 pack for half the time. And I've already got one icon swap, haven't I? So this will get me the pack. Doing both of them. This game feels quite difficult so far, though, I've got to say. What's up, Callum? stream a little bit late, but screw it. Son of Christ, running through. It's just boring playing the AI. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I was just listening to music when I played the first 3 games, and I thought play the next 3 games on stream. It's a little bit better on stream because you can just talk to the chat. Go on, Owen. With Vidal, Gaz has to get elite. I don't know about that, but I think Vidal would he would definitely help in terms of. I think defensively it'd be very similar to Kante, but it's the other parts that Kante was really lacking, like the stuff that kind of costs us a little bit. I think Vidal would rectify that. He'd probably feel a lot more like meta anyway, wouldn't he? Because he's just such an overpowered card. Anyway, today, like, the event's going down with Claude. Unbelievable. I don't know what happened to him. I don't want to ask because I feel like it would be. It seems a little bit rude, but I do not know the cause of his death or anything like that. But it's incredibly sad, isn't it? It's incredibly sad. He was going through quite a tough time from what I heard. So yeah, he was getting a lot of stick and a lot of abuse online, wasn't he? And I think it was getting to him. I know how it feels sometimes, to be honest, like in terms of getting stick and a bit of shit online. It can piss you off sometimes and just not make you feel good. So that's another encouragement. You know, it's another encouragement. It's another encouragement towards people that are toxic online. Like, there is really no need for it. It doesn't take much to just be to just be nice to someone. You know, there's no reason to act like an arsehole, because it's just, you don't know how much you could be harming someone's life through doing it, and also your own life, because you're just coming across as like an absolute douche, and no one's really going to like you. So you've got to. It's got to be. There's a lot of movement going around as well, isn't there? I think Thierry Henry has boycotted social media now because of all the abuse on it, and I think that's down to racial abuse. But I think he would also back up any type of abuse along with that. He's boycotted social media. Gareth Bale has said that he would openly join that boycott too, to stamp out all the abuse that's going on online, because you know, these social media sites, I mean, you know, they need to do more to stamp it out, because it's not on with what happens at times. You know, I've had it every so often. I'm not saying I've had it badly, but you know, I do get times where I express, you know, how I'm feeling about something, like sometimes even FIFA or anything on Twitter, and then I just get, you know, about 5 arseholes in my replies just talking a bunch of shit. And sometimes it does annoy me because they give you these fucking, like, you just want to delete it from your replies, right? Because it's like in my live chat on streaming, you know, I can just ban them and delete the message, but on Twitter I can't. It's always going to be there. So all I do is just block the person so I don't see it. And even though, you know, what they say means nothing, it still pisses me off in the first place that people are that fucking, you know, arsey and that fucking ridiculous to do that. You know, I think it was about a month or 2 ago. Hang on a minute, let's try and score this another goal of Owen here. Oh, he missed. I feel like... hang on a minute. What's wrong with this header? Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, so a few months ago I tweeted during the... If you remember the Spurs game when they faced that non-league side in the FA Cup, and a guy was, because it was like such a humble ground, it was like the pitch was like right near just normal houses, wasn't it? And some guy was in his bedroom and watching Gareth Bale like in the stadium, like right next to him, which is crazy. And you know, I tweeted that day because I watched the game, Spurs, and I don't want to sound horrible. I can't remember the name of the team, but I was watching the football and I'm watching it and I'm just thinking, you know, I could have easily played at least non-league football. I know I could have, like especially if I'm, well, if I'm not feeling uncomfortable and around fucking arseholes. You know, I was just looking at the standard of play and just be like, look, I could definitely play in at least non-league. So I tweeted it out. I was saying, you know, if it wasn't for all the bullshit going on in, you know, going on with when I was in the academy all those years ago, you know, and it didn't make me stop playing, it would have been interesting to see what could have happened if I was in a team while feeling comfortable and not around a load of arseholes. I was just, you know, saying it could have been interesting to see what happened, and I could have definitely at least played at that level. And you know, people were... I had quite a few replies, and it's quite a sensitive subject to me. It is a sensitive subject to me because I played with a load of arseholes and they made me not want to play football anymore, the sport that I loved. And the sport that I was actually very good at, in my opinion. You know, my first ever competitive season, I was Player of the Year. So, you know, they took that away from me, kind of. I mean, I probably should have handled it better, but the bullshit that was there really got to me, and that bullshit took that away from me, and I stopped playing. I didn't really want to play again. So, but yeah, because it was a sensitive subject to me. I tweeted about it after watching that game. And yeah, there was just a few absolutely ridiculous people saying, oh, you obviously weren't a baller and all this bullshit. So I'm just, deep down, I'm fucking pissed off about that because I know the situation I went through and they had absolutely no clue, and they're just fucking talking shit like that behind their fucking keyboards, you know, regarding a sensitive subject to me, which genuinely changed my life, and they're talking shit towards it. Like, it's borderline evil with how much that subject meant to me, and what, you know, these idiots were saying about it. So yeah, like, I know what it feels like at times when these arseholes just kind of rage you and just talk a load of shit. And you know, Claude, unfortunately, was getting a load of shit as well. Yeah, sometimes his opinions might have been a little bit controversial, but it doesn't mean he needs to be given a ton of shit for it. Just let him be. Just because someone has a controversial opinion, it doesn't mean they need to be completely abused. You know, just let them be. Yeah, you can disagree with them, but don't fucking be an arsehole to him. Just because he's a little bit controversial. You know, but yeah, if it is confirmed to be a suicide, then that is, you know, it's really sad news. It's really sad news because we know deep down he is a really good guy, and it's another reason for social media to be seriously looked at, and to be and for all the online abuse, all types of online abuse, to be stamped out, because there are too many lowlives and idiots that try to ruin people's day through using it, and it needs to stop, and these people need to be educated or stopped if they're not going to stop. So yeah, it needs to happen. But hopefully these sites will do something about it, because it's going to keep on getting worse, guys. It's going to carry on happening, all this stuff. All this stuff's going to carry on, definitely. Weekfoot birthday Vardy from 81 plus. Oh, that's nice. I think is he a 5-star Weekfoot as well? A lot of people aren't really mentioning that card too much. I think he'd be amazing. I think he'd be unbelievable. Need to check his stats. You remember I used his team of the season in FIFA 20, guys. He was really good for me. And that 91 with the 5-star Weekfoot would probably be on par with that card, I'd say. Four-star, 5-star, yeah. That's a really nice card. Like, not many people are mentioning him. I don't know why. He looks really good from my point of view. He'll do a lot of damage if whoever uses him. Definitely 99 aggression. It's actually quite funny because when I was back in that academy, my aggression was, I'd say, quite low because I just did not feel comfortable around the guys. I couldn't express myself. You know, in football, you've got to be yourself, haven't you? You've got to be yourself, and you know, I would say when I am being myself, I would say on the pitch I'm quite aggressive, but when you're around people you don't really enjoy being around, I'm kind of more in my shell. So yeah, when I was especially back in that academy, I was not getting the most out of that side, and I think because of that you don't really get the most out of your game either, because you're naturally not feeling comfortable anyway. So yeah, it is quite frustrating. But yeah, I would say my aggression levels would be quite higher when I'm actually in my comfort zone, shall we say. Gaz Tots car will have 97 pace. It would be. I would be so interested if I was on the game, like a normal gold card on the game, and then if I was to get a team in the season, like what pace I'd be given. It would definitely be high 90s. Someone help me, what formation is good to use now? I'm still using the 4-2-2. It's almost got elite with it, didn't I? I don't know if 3 at the back still works or not. So sad about Claude. Yeah, it is. It's so sad. It's unbelievable, and I just still can't believe all this bullshit abuse online is still going on. You know, after all the things happening, you know, people are still being cunts every day. Like, and it's not just people being cunts in real life. It's people being cunts online too. Those are the same cunts that are cunts in real life, you know. They need to fucking stop it. It's a joke. They don't realise the damage they do to people's mental health. Fucks me off. They need a good talking to and be like, look, seriously, cut it out. How's Freeze Martinez, guys? I think he's alright. I've used him coming off the bench quite a few times. I think he's more than good enough to play on the right side for my team with his stats. Were you at your prime in the academy, guys? Well, no, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. I think if I was to play now, I'd be better now than I was then. If I was to get fully fit and everything like that, I think I'll be better now. Because a bit older and everything like that, grown a bit more. Then I was a little bit smaller and a little bit more naive, and didn't handle situations as well. So that's partly why I just felt really uncomfortable and wasn't myself and was kind of in my shell a lot of the time, which affected my game. So in general, I feel like my actual prime days was like my probably my first ever season, because that's the season where I was genuinely, because there's no judgments because you're a kid, and you know, everyone's kind of in the same boat. There's no judgments or anything like that. You're just playing, and I was able to be myself most of the time in that first season, and all the guys in that team voted me as player of the year for that team. So, you know, I think if that was about 8 years later, those same players that voted me to be player of the year, that's 8 years later, with me being, you know, a little bit more in my shell as I got a bit older, because of, you know, me just not liking cunts or anything like that, or people like that, they probably would not vote for me because I'm a little bit quieter, if you know what I mean. Even though I'll probably be still playing just as well, they probably would not vote because I'm just a bit quieter and they don't talk to me as much. But back then, when I'm fine and being normal and there's no judgments, they voted for me. So, you know, it kind of says it all really, in terms of being in your shell and not being in your shell. I can guarantee it, guys. If I had that same season, in the first season I had when I was about 10 years old, getting player of the year, I can guarantee if I'm 16, 17, and I play the exact same way, but I don't talk to them as much, I wouldn't get those votes. I don't think I would, because the judgment would be there then, do you know what I mean? And the more kind of cuntish attitude would be there. It's sad to say it, but I think it's true. I'm so upset about Claw, but what happened to him? Yeah, I don't know. Apparently it's suicide, so it's really sad either way. Yeah, it's another reason why this whole abuse thing online needs to be like seriously looked at, because nothing's being done about it. Like even the big names in football, like loads of people on Sky Sports News and the big media outlets, they're all saying the same thing. Something's got to be done, and no one's doing anything. The suggestions are there, do you know what I mean? If you want to sign up to social media, just get proof of identity, so you know if you say anything, if you're being abusive to anyone online, your identity's there so they know it's you, instead of hiding behind a fucking football photo or something. Because people can create multiple accounts and just abuse whoever the fuck they want. It's bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Like loads of people have been saying that, like on Sky Sports and everything like that. What did you say to everyone when you quit? Nothing. I never saw him again. I just didn't go in. I didn't want to say anything. Did you play on the wing, guys? Aren't you 6'2", is a pretty tall winger? You might not be physical enough for striker. Yeah, it's, up front it's really tough. It definitely is tough. I played there a few times. In 2014 I played for another team, didn't I? And I played up front for one game in that team because our top scorer had like a little injury or something, so he came on in the second half. But I did pretty well, but I had quite a lot of chances. It was 0-0 in the first half, and the funny thing is, go on, Owen. I missed a few chances, but I was unlucky because it was good. They were good, powerful shots that were going in the corner of the net, but the goalkeeper just made some really good saves with his feet. And I think there was another one that I can't remember what it was, but I remember a left foot shot that was outside the box, which was really nice. I drilled it, but the keeper saved it. But the funny thing that I was about to say is that when our striker actually came on, the guy that was the manager of the team put me on the left, which I usually played anyway, and then I actually scored while I was put on the left. So I don't score for the whole game when I'm up front, but then when I get put on left wing I end up scoring the goal and we won 1-0. So that was quite funny. Managed to finish the chance from the left wing but not up front. But the chance that fell to me when I was on the left was a better opportunity than the others I had. I'm new here, interested in your story about football. Can you dive a bit in the story how far you think you could have went and why it didn't happen? I don't know how far I could have gone. I don't know how far anybody else could have gone. There were some really good players where I was playing. I played with some like really good players like growing up, and in that academy there were some really good players there. But it's just the attitudes of some of them that were the big problem. Just didn't take it like professionally enough. Just love pissing about and stuff more than playing football. But yeah, I don't know how far I could have gone. There's plenty of players that I've played with that could have gone far as well. You know, plenty of guys that I played with as a kid were really good players. There definitely were that could have made it, but that's life though, isn't it? That's life, because you know there's so much. Life is random, isn't it? I mean, I don't mean to sound like it's weird or anything, but it's true, because there are millions of people everywhere. Well, millions, billions. You know, loads of people play football. There's going to be loads of. So the likelihood is, in whatever sport it is, there's going to be loads of talented people in these sports that aren't going to get anywhere because of the numbers of how many human beings there are in the world. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, 100%. There are people that I know that could have definitely gone really far, and I would like to think I would like me at my best and when I'm not in my shell. Could have definitely done that as well, but yeah, I don't know how far I could have gone. I just stopped because of mental health reasons. I just couldn't handle all the bullshit going on, and it really affected me. But it wasn't just that. I had private things going on really affected me as well. That like shit just hit the fan. Do you know what I mean? In all types of ways. But Yeah, I'll definitely just I'll go as far as saying that I definitely when I'm at my best and actually being myself, I definitely had ability and potential. I'll definitely go as far as saying that, and I'd say the same for quite a lot of other players. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the only one in my life that could have gone somewhere, because that's not true. There were so many players that I played with growing up who were absolutely really good players themselves that really should have got somewhere as well. But life is life, isn't it? It's just there's so many human beings in the world. Not every human being is going to fit in the top positions. So that's where luck comes in. Do you know what I mean? I mean, even watching like even a football match like this, guys, or a football stadium, like as you can see right in front of you here. The pitch has 22 players, obviously, but if you look at the amount of people in the crowd, even in this stadium here, that's a massive amount of people. You're talking thousands and thousands of people that probably all could have, not all of them, but a lot of the people in the crowd, I know these aren't real people, but you're talking like a real stadium, all of them have an interest in football and probably played it when they were younger, or probably still play it, and could have got somewhere themselves if they were good enough. That's just the world. That's just life. There's a big amount of people, and it's hard to get up to get up to the high percentages. And I'm not saying it's purely down to that. I'm not saying it's purely down to that, but it's definitely a huge factor, and also circumstances of each individual that doesn't make it. Sometimes it's the individual's fault. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes injuries happen. Like all sorts of stuff happens, doesn't it? At the end of the day, the penny's just got to drop for you. Like if you're good enough, but sometimes it doesn't, because that's life. That's the chances in life, isn't it? Guys probably could have made the La Liga. Oh, it would have been really interesting to see, where I could have played if things did work out. If things did work out, and things went well, and life fell into place, timing, luck, etc. Then it would have been interesting to see what could have happened, definitely. But you just don't know these things. Nobody knows these things. Militao taking a penalty. Nothing worse than wasted talent. I know some guy, he was class scouted by Oldham, but then they dropped him, then he turned into drinking because of it. They don't help you after they release you. Yeah, that's a tough thing as well, being released. Whew. I would love to know. It's so interesting when you I kind of know the feeling, because I got kicked off a team when I was a kid as well, which personally I don't think was my fault. I think it was a little bit out of order towards me. I genuinely do, because I started really well in that team, and everyone at the start really wanted me in the team. So obviously I had to be decent enough for them to be like, yeah, we really want him to be in the team. And I started well, so obviously I had ability, of course I did, but I just got a little bit ill. I did a paper round. I started doing a paper round at about, I don't know, sometime as soon as I turned 13 or something like that, and I just got really ill. Just wasn't well. I was anemic. I wasn't eating right because I'm a kid. I don't know anything about dieting or anything like that, and I just became really weak. I couldn't run properly, not run properly, but I was just running slower. My like everything about me was just slower and weaker. And one specific tournament after the end of the season, I felt really weak. I travelled to, I don't know where it was, I think it was Bognor Regis, to a tournament, and I did really bad because I just wasn't well, and I didn't know I wasn't well. I knew I felt weak, but I didn't know what was up with me until I went to the doctors. I remember coming home, like, I think it was like a few weeks after, I was like telling my mum and dad, I was like, I just don't feel right. Like, I feel weak, I'm running slower, everything. I told them, and they were like, yeah, we got to get you to the doctors. I went to the doctors and they were like, right, we need to give you a blood test. Had the blood test, results came back a few weeks later that I was anemic. So they put me on, and I was almost diabetic as well. I was on the borderline of being diabetic because I was fucking just eating badly and all sorts. So I had something for that, and they had to tell me to eat less sugar and all that type of stuff, and I was put on ferrous sulfate, which is iron. Iron tablet to regulate obviously your iron levels. Oh, anemia, that's out of order, they kicked you out for that, guys. Yeah, but they didn't know. The coach and that didn't know. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. They just thought I went shit. Like, nobody knew the situation apart from me and my family. So the coach phoned up my dad and was like, yeah, we don't want him in the team anymore. And I think that was before I even found out what was wrong with me, which is annoying. But I definitely wasn't feeling well. But yeah, I do think it was out of order. They could have at least asked me, a bit like, look, you know, you're not playing like how you was at the start. Like, we know what you can do. Like, we just need to see what's up with you, and then we can get you back. But they didn't do that. They just fucking took me straight off, which I don't think was right, considering how well I started there as well, when I'm actually feeling normal. So yeah, that was bollocks. It probably knocks your confidence, guys, especially at that young age. Yeah, it did. That hurt me a little bit. I don't even think some of the players knew why I didn't come back. Some of the players probably didn't even know. I think something else happened too. I think my dad owed money to one of the people, because I stayed there, and I think it costed like £50 or something like that. And you know, I didn't know what was going on. I thought my dad paid for everything. And I don't know what happened really. Something went on. Something to do with the £50, and you know, I was ill, wasn't playing as well as what I was at the start of the season. The first 3 games I played for the team, I scored the 3 goals. You know, I scored 1 goal in the first game, and then I don't think I scored in the second game, but in the third game I scored 2 goals when we won 5-4. So obviously I was good enough to play in that team and score goals to win games for them. But you know, when I'm actually feeling okay. But, you know, shit happens at the end of the day. Shit happens. You just have to be in the right place at the right time to get scouted. It's so hard these days. Yeah, it's like I was naive. I was naive when I was younger. I didn't realise the depths of life. You know, you as you get older, you just start to realise the huge number of people that are going for the same thing you're going for, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands. It's loads of people and talented people as well. That's the circle of life, isn't it? And it's to, you know, to get up to the top of the, you know, huge percentage. There's you know, there's a huge amount of luck that's definitely involved. It's not like the full reason why, but it's definitely a big reason. I know a girl has that and she faints if she doesn't take her tablets and stuff. Yeah, it can be brutal. It can be brutal. It makes you feel like shit when you're anemic. If you used to go on Google and type it in, how does anemia make you feel? I must have been anemic for about, I don't know, I must have been anemic for about 6 months or something without even getting checked up. I just thought I was tired or something. But, you know, I'm young and stupid, don't have no intelligence, don't know what's wrong with me, just thinking I'm tired, so I'm still playing football feeling like that. Like, just not knowing. So in the end, you know, I was just like, I had to tell my mum and dad, and they encouraged me to go to the doctors. I'll also type that in. Yeah. Anemia is a condition where you lack enough healthy red blood cells to carry adequate oxygen to your body's tissues. Having anemia can make you feel tired and weak. There are many forms of it, each of its own cause. Anemia can be temporary or long-term, and it can range from mild to severe. So yeah, and that explains it. I remember one time in that tournament that I mentioned, I went for a shot outside the box. I couldn't even reach the goal. It was that bad. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, if this is the start of the season, I'm easily fucking testing the goalkeeper there. But there, I do the shot and it doesn't even reach. Like, even then I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is up with me? But I just kind of shook it off. I just thought, you know, I'm just doing bad or something. It wasn't. I was just really weak. No, I'm not playing against that team. That'll do though. Alright, one more game. Yeah, exactly, Jake, yeah. There's a lot of aspects that go into it, innit? The dedication, the talent, the attitude, the luck, the outside judgment, as well as that right place at the right time, depending on who needs a specific position. You know, you could be a very talented centre back, but someone might want a really talented striker. You know, it's just down to loads of different circumstances and situations and factors. How much did you get paid for the paper round, guys? When I was doing them, it was £2 each. It was well, it was at a newsagent's, my local area, and one of my friends got it for me. A guy that lived in my street, who was in his own right really good football player, and he actually got me into that team that I was just talking about now. By the way, he actually got me invited me to train him for that team, and you know, that's the story of how I actually got into that team. He invited me to train in there. You know, I told a few of them about me and that. I did well in training, and they were like, "Yeah, we want you in the team." You know, they wouldn't have put me in the team if they didn't think I was good enough in the first place. Started well, scored, you know, I think like 3 goals, 3 games or something at the start, and then I don't know. I think I must have started getting ill after that, because I just started. I wasn't firing like I was at the very start. But definitely towards the end, I know at the end, towards the end, it was getting worse and worse and worse. That's where it got to the point where I couldn't even reach the goal. Like, for me to even play, like, normally in that situation, I would have had to, like, really fucking, like, I would have had to push myself to the limit just to even run normally or anything like that. It would have been unbelievable. But yeah, in terms of that paper round, so that same guy that I was talking about that got me into that team, he helped me out and got me that paper round, and it was I think it was the least paid one out of the lot. There was different ones. There must have been about 4 or 5 different rounds in the around the area, and it was early in the morning, and this is where it tired me out too. I think it was 6 AM every single morning, 7 days a week. And I was sleeping quite late as well, so yeah, it was really knackering, and I was only getting about, I think it was about £15 a week for waking up at 6 AM 7 days a week. It was ridiculous. I don't even know why I fucking did it, because I had the worst one, the like lowest paid one. I used to do it before school and everything. Sometimes I used to do it on my bike, which made it quick, or sometimes I'd walk it, which took forever. And then I'd go back home and then go to school afterwards. And it's quite scary sometimes, because, like, especially during the winter, it was really dark. Like, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. You're walking around streets pitch black before it even gets light, and it's quite scary. You know, I'm only like 12 or 13, and you know, I'm doing that in the dark. So just walking around like that, just delivering papers, and some of the houses were quite creepy as well, to be honest. So going right up to the front door and delivering the paper, I feel like some fucking, I don't know, makes you feel like some demon's gonna fucking answer the door at that time of day. Especially your imagination at that, when you're that age. Wish I could get my college days back. I miss playing for college and football academy and that. At that time I took it for granted. Yeah, it's frustrating, because I personally really dedicated to doing well in it. The summer before I went into the academy, I was working on my fitness quite a lot. I was going on runs and every single thing like that, and I don't think the coaches or many people understood the work I put in during the summer to get myself right. But it was weird, because most of the stuff I was doing was like, say, late afternoon, evening, in terms of the fitness. And then when we was doing some of the training we was doing, like fitness training, was like early in the morning, like 9, 10 in the morning, and I just don't think my body was well adapted to it, and it just made me it just made me do a little bit worse, I think. I just felt like really tired while doing that as well. But yeah, like in terms of that, like I definitely was dedicating myself to that, you know, especially during the summer, and whether it is the right way or wrong way, I don't know, because I mean I was dedicating to the best of my own ability anyway. You know, with what I knew, I might not have known much or known a great deal, but I was dedicating to the best of my ability and knowledge. So yeah, but I just felt like a lot of the people there were not treating it the same way, which annoyed me. I just didn't feel like I was on the same wavelength. It just seemed like a lot of people there were just there to fuck around. And look, fair enough. There is that stuff does happen in football, doesn't it? But at least when it comes to the football side of things, it's all business. But I just don't feel like it was that. Oh, why did I turn in there? I need to get my players on. A lot of people wrote me off in college because I was small, but then they saw me play football and changed their view on me. They shocked how good I was because of my size. Yeah, that stuff definitely happens. It annoys me when people like prejudge you and shit. It fucking does my head in. Like that type of shit used to happen in my school like all the time. Like just because you're quiet in class, yeah, it doesn't mean you're fucking bad at things. Sometimes. Like there are certain PE classes when we do football, and I could tell some of the guys were really surprised by me. They knew that it was a bit weird. It's got to be a better shot. Oh, he cleared it off the line. Because it's 20. No, I'm 26, Sebastian. 26. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean, Jay. Like, just because you're like, say, if you're quieter or smaller or anything like that, like at the end of the day, you just don't fucking know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't like it when people prejudge that shit. I've never understood that. You don't know someone's ability in something until you've seen it in that specific thing. You know what I mean? No, I definitely know that was the case growing up, you know, where I was. It was definitely the type of atmosphere that if you're sitting, as I said, if you're sitting quiet in class and there's like a football tournament going on and like the class is like picking the team, and if you're like a quiet guy, they're going to be like, oh, is someone gonna pick Gareth then? They're going to be like, no, you're not, he's shit. And they'll say something like that when they've never even seen you play. Like, just because you're quiet, they just automatically assume you're going to be shit. That's genuinely the type of bullshit that was like that when I was growing up. That was genuinely it. Genuinely it. And that very thing did happen to me, like when I was in school. So we're sitting in class, right, and we'd get organising like a five-a-side football tournament in I think it was like the second or third year of school, and you know, I think it was like a lunchtime five-a-side tournament, and we're sitting in form, and one guy is saying, yeah, pick Gareth Thomas, he's really good, pick him, he's really good, and I've just revealed my name there. Only to 42 people anyway. But yeah, it's like pick him, he's really good, like, because one guy like knew how good I was, but then one guy said back to him, shut up, no he isn't, like while he's trying to pick everyone else. I'm just sitting there like, fuck's sake. Like, that was genuinely the type of atmosphere. Just because I'm a little bit quieter than some of them, he's just like, shut up, no he isn't. Like, fuck's sake, it is a joke. And then we had the Red Nose Day football tournament, which is even fucking funnier. That makes me laugh more than most of it. We did I've got to say this on straight. We did a Red Nose Day football tournament once with our whole year, like lunchtime, like tournament during Red Nose Day. It was, I think it was 6-a-side or 7-a-side. It might have been 5-a-side. I can't remember. But you know, we got our team together of my own group, and we played most of the games, and I scored most of the goals in the games, and we won the tournament. We won the tournament, and we weren't supposed to be the best team. Like, all the popular guys were supposed to be like the best players, winning the whole thing, and we fucking won it. It was, it just kind of said it all about like the ego of some of the people there, just thinking they're amazing, yet we were the ones that won. Because we were just the guys that quietly went about our business, that were actually like really decent players as well. But because we were just a little bit quieter than the rest of them, they just thought we were shit. But we ended up winning the whole fucking thing. Yeah, that was the funniest one. That's probably the funniest story I have about when I was there. Like, just beating those guys, actually beating them, and their reaction to it. Just because they were a little bit more popular, they just automatically thought they were better. When we were the ones that won the whole fucking thing. Yeah, shit like that does happen. You see it in movies and all sorts, don't you? That's why that type of shit's in movies, because it happens in real life, doesn't it? Stuff like that. It's just life, isn't it? But definitely, that's a story that I find absolutely hilarious. It was actually 2 times that we, I think it's 2 times we won a Red Nose Day tournament. One that was on like a weekend, like a weekend kind of like 5-a-side tournament, and then one that was at during one lunchtime. Don't see why people can't just be positive and help each other out instead of creating a view on someone they haven't spoke to properly or even tried to speak to. Pisses me off. Yeah. I wasn't even looking then as I was reading. Piss off, Sterling. Fucking hell. Fucking taking away my clean sheet. But yeah, that's the problem. Some people, they're very pre-judgmental, aren't they? Like it's just like pure. I don't know what the right word is. Like a form. I would say a form of prejudice, really, social prejudice. I would say. That's a good word for it. Social prejudice. Oh, fucking hell, Ollie. So I play 6-a-side on Monday and Sunday league. The amount of times I get some mad looks because I'm 5'6" and I mug them off. And they boot me in the ankles. Oh, fuck's sake. That does happen, that type of shit. Give it back though, give it back. If one of them gives you a shit tackle, give one back. Let them know that you're gonna fuck it, you can do it to them too. Get the opportunity, just fucking put one in. Put one in, you just know, like, eye for an eye. Like, you think you can give me a shit tackle, don't expect me to not give one back. Guys, you should beat them up. But yeah, at the end of the day on a football pitch, if it's in like an official match, they can't do nothing to you. They can't do nothing to you. They give you a shit tackle, you give them a shit tackle, all they can do is start the game again. They have to play on, don't they, because the game's running. You should beat them up. That's definitely not the solution. Definitely not the solution. But in terms of on the football pitch, yeah, if they give you a ridiculous moment, definitely give it back. Because that's one place where they can't do shit, because you have to concentrate on the game. What they do to you is secondary at the time, because the main focus is the football, isn't it? Whereas when you're in the classroom, the main focus is what they're doing to you. They're not focusing on anything else. But on the football pitch, they can't do shit. Because if they get up and just start fucking focusing on you for the whole game, they're just gonna look fucking stupid. Good story about the tournament, guys. Yeah, it was funny. I did have quite a bad moment because of that, though. I had quite a bad bullying moment after that tournament. I don't know if I've said it on stream, but I did have it. It was really embarrassing for me. But the one thing that is positive about that story is that the only reason why it happened is because we won and because they lost. That's the only reason why that happened. It was just despair, so the guy had to the guy had to take his had to put his reaction out there because he obviously clearly wasn't happy about it, and clearly didn't know how good I was. Once again, the social prejudice bullshit. Just because he sees me quiet in a class in a few times, you know, he thinks it's a complete fluke that we've won the tournament, not knowing that I can score goals against every one of their teams in those games. Some people just come play dirty and start fights because they think there's some big men. When in reality they're just another to a shit of football. Yeah, I actually saw something crazy once when I went to a six-a-side tournament, six-a-side league game on like a Wednesday night in my local town. A guy that I played football with a few times was he was a really good player, but he was going through some shit at the time, I think, that you know was going around a little bit, and you know, one game some guy was giving him a bit of shit during the game, and he knocked him out in the match. He punched him and knocked him out. It was fucking crazy. He got sent off and everything, and yeah, like he was a good guy himself, but he never took any shit from anyone. And I remember seeing it firsthand. I wasn't playing the game, I was watching it from the side because it was before I actually started playing for the team. I just was invited to watch at the time. And yeah, that shit does happen, just people talking shit. And that guy didn't take it. He punched him, like, I don't know where he punched him, but obviously around the head area. And yeah, the guy, it was a full-on punch and he went down. It was crazy. That shit can happen. Quite people always get picked on at school when we did the beat test in PAL1, and everybody said I cheated basically because I'm quiet and don't brag about my fitness. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. It's just pure jealousy, isn't it? Because they're the loud ones that talk themselves up, and whenever someone that doesn't talk themselves up outdoes them, they have to try and find a way to bring you down so they feel good about themselves and about their reputation. It's the fakest shit ever. It really is. That's the way it goes, unfortunately. What was the moment that happened? Well, basically, do you remember school assemblies? Do you remember school assemblies, like secondary school assemblies, when you have to, the whole year is in like a big hall? I don't know how many people was in my year, but there was quite a few. There was like two, like in, say, it's hard to explain, but in, you know, like a normal sports hall with say like two badminton courts or something, the length of like two badminton courts, or maybe more than that, 2 to 4. But if you guys were any similar, you remember assemblies in secondary school, and if it's in like a big hall and there's like one you know, set of students, and there's like a big gap for all the teachers to walk through in the middle, and then there's one massive set of students, like loads of rows of students on the left and then one on the right. So yeah, during one assembly after we won that Red Nose Day football tournament, I was they announced, like, say, the winners of the tournament during the assembly. I don't know why they did that. I think it was quite fucking stupid, to be honest. I don't know why we had to do it, but they announced it. They were like, right, they were like, this year did a football tournament for Red Nose Day, obviously because it's for charity, so you know, they're announcing it, you know, how proud they are of the year that they've took part and all this stuff. I don't think anybody cared about the Red Nose Day thing, to be honest. They just cared about the football. But still, they were saying it because we did a football tournament for charity. So they were like, may the winners of the Red Nose Day football tournament stand up. And so I'm having to stand up, and obviously a few other guys that was in my team in other forms had to stand up as well. So I've stood up, and some guy who, you know, he was, I personally think he was a really good player, but he was a bit of an arsehole, and that's a fact. I think he knows he was, and you have to be to do something like this. And he went and like shouted something out to me while I'm standing up in assembly in front of the whole year. Shouted something out to me, and I can't remember what it was, but he shouted something like quite bad, as if I was like really shit or something. And yeah, then I don't know how many people laughed, but it sounded like a lot of people in the hall laughed after he said that. So yeah, he was like a row or two behind me while I'm standing up, and then he just goes and calls me some name, and then, you know, people start laughing, and I'm just standing there like, fuck's sake, man. Like, but I knew in the back of my mind, I have won this, like, I am the winner of this tournament, you're not. Like, I know deep down it's just him being salty. It's just being a salty bastard, because he lost. He didn't win it. He wanted to be the one standing up, but he wasn't. And because, you know, I'm like quite a guy in the year that's standing up as one of the winners of the tournament, he's thinking, hey, something's not right here. Why the fuck's he standing up? That doesn't make sense that he's fucking won it. He's a fucking quiet guy. Like, do you know what I mean? That social prejudice bullshit must have been going through his head. Where the reality is, I was good enough to contribute to winning that tournament 100%, and we won the tournament. So yeah, he was just talking shit in front of the whole year, got a few laughs, and that was it. But yeah, in general, that was quite traumatising for me a little bit, because you know, I've just been made fun of in front of the whole year for winning a football tournament. So yeah, it was absolute bullshit. And I don't care if anyone from there is probably knows that I've got this channel or have seen it. I'm talking the exact truth. So yeah, it was bollocks. It wasn't right, and that's a fact. And that happened to me. I have every right to talk about it, you know, on my channel. I'm off to sleep, Gaz. See you later. Good chat. Love talking about football. Oh yeah, football. Yeah, not only just like professional football, but football stories from your own lives as well. It's really good. Thanks for the donation, Real Chris 808, $1 donation. Thanks for that. Any donations appreciated. So yeah, that happened to me, guys. That happened. We do the Red Nose Day football tournament. You know, scored quite a few goals to beat those teams. We won, finished first in the tournament, and we had to get announced in assembly because we won it. We had to stand up when everybody else was sitting down, obviously, because it's in the assembly. So they know who the winners were. I stood up because I was one of the winners, and yeah, one of the arseholes in the year took a big dig at me, and it got loads of laughs in the assembly. All because I won a fucking football tournament. So it's yeah, it was bollocks. It was bollocks. Guys know you're a good footballer. I saw a clip of you on Twitter a few years ago, a free kick from around 25 yards out, hit the bar. That was more than 25 yards. That was more. That must have been about at least 35 to 40 yards. At least 30 yards. At least 30 yards. I made sure that it was really far from the penalty area, from the D on the penalty area. I didn't want to be close to the goal because it was too easy. So I made sure it's quite far back. If you notice how far the ball travelled and how long it took to get to the goal, I think that proves how far away I was, if you know what I mean. Like if that was just 25 yards out, that would have hit the bar a lot quicker. But it kind of, as I culled it, it was like kind of travelling quite far and then hits the bar. So I was at least 35 to 40 yards out. I made sure I wanted to do it from further away so it looked better. Because when you're 25 yards, it's too near for me for it to be a good free kick. Just gonna have some water anyway. Because yeah, I don't think I'd have been able to get that curl on it from that close. Like it had to be that far for it to travel on curl like that. So it looked further than what it was. Because if you was to look at the bottom on that video, on the AstroTurf, you can't actually see the lines because it's too far away. It was I made sure it was far from the D, because it would look too easy otherwise. It had to be far out just for it to look like it was harder to do. I'm just gonna have some water anyway. The worst things to be made fun of being good at the most popular game in the world. Yeah, it was fucking unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable when you think about it. It's actually unbelievable. Getting an embarrassing bullying moment in front of the whole year because I won a football tournament. It was funny that we won it, because they all thought they were good in the shit, and they thought they were going to breeze it, but we won it. And you know, unfortunately, I just had quite a traumatising moment happen to me because I was one of the people that won. It's crazy. It's crazy getting as I say, to summarise, getting a bullying moment just because I won a football tournament. It's fucking stupid. Oh yeah, exactly, Connor Hayes. I know it's just circumstances and just life and my own struggles mentally. And I wouldn't say it's me. It's just the things that are happening to me that I weren't dealing with very well. I couldn't deal with the arseholes in the team. I couldn't deal with my own private family situation at the time. I just couldn't deal with it, and I just kind of lost positivity. I just had to kind of get away from everything. It's an incredible effort, guys. The curl on the ball was insane. You've got so much power on it too. It really slapped off of that bar. Yeah, and another thing there, I was quite rusty. I was quite rusty that day. One of the, if you was to the guy that filmed that day, we did like a crossbar change at the start of the day when I was feeling quite fresh at the start before we started filming. I hit the crossbar from the halfway line before we started filming the free kick. So like as a laugh, we just done that. You know, like how far could we get the ball from the halfway line? And it was, I remember hitting the crossbar the first shot, and like my brother and And my friend were there and saw that, and they were like, "Whoa, Jesus Christ, that was crazy!" And I was just standing there saying to them, "Oh my God, why couldn't we have filmed that? It would have been so good. It would have been so good." But I was rusty. I was rusty because that was the first time I genuinely played football in years, in at least 2 years. Yeah, at least like even doing like a free kick like that, or hitting the crossbar from the halfway line, like that, the first time I played football in at least a few years, isn't too bad. Because I did feel the rust for sure. Like the day after, I did feel it. I know. But yeah, many times I've attempted to try and hit the crossbar from the halfway line and not really done it. So either gone over or gone in the goal, or sometimes not very good. But that time we tried it, that day, it just hit the crossbar, like bounced off so nicely. It would have been sick if it was filmed. It would have been so sick if it was filmed. It was one of those ones where you know, like once you've hit it, you know you've got the good contact on it. Yeah. I remember the date of that. It was 25th of August 2019. But yeah, in terms of that free kick that we was talking about, there was actually like there was a hoop on the corner of the goal. I don't know if it was actually seen on the video, but there was like a mini black hoop on the corner of the goal, and I was aiming for that most of the time. And quite a few attempts were quite bad because, as I said, I was quite rusty and everything like that. But there were some really decent ones, and that was one of the best ones. Like if I wasn't rusty, I would be able to do those free kicks. Wouldn't say fully consistently, but a lot more than what I did. In reality, those bullies talking smack to you are just emphasis in yourself how good you are. If they're taking that time out to make you feel bad. Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. It was a weird one. I feel like the guy felt like that in himself at the time when he said that. It seemed like it just didn't feel right to him. It felt like, isn't it supposed to be me and my mates that are standing up here because we're not the best players? Like, why the fuck is that piece of shit standing up? Like, I think he was thinking like that, so he just had to say something. Like, that's what I feel like anyway. Just kind of that like entitled type of mindset. And not realising that other people that not in your group can actually be fucking good as well. Make it your own to get away from your town. It is one of my aims, Ted Bundy, it is one of my aims. I've been wanting to get away for a long time. And I will. I will. What did the person say to you in assembly? He called me something, I can't remember what it was, but he called me something. It was some sort of bad word that got quite a few laughs. But hey, they were laughing at the fucking winner of it all. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. I might start doing a little bit of music actually for a little while. Just my laptop needs to be put on charge, so I'll be back in just a second, guys. The laptop's just gone off, so I've got to turn it back on. Quickly view the chat on my phone. I need to do an SBC actually. Hopefully the laptop takes me straight back to the chat. I like the wallpapers they show you on the laptop. Like, it's just as soon as you start it up again. Don't know if you can see that. Look how nice that is. Like what you see, yes. I remember before I was the only person at the crossbar doing crossbar challenge, it felt great because I never got to play games. I know, I mean you might have been a good player, you just probably didn't want to play with all the people in the team. Did that assembly moment make you have no friends or something? No, it didn't. I was still around the crowd I was with. It didn't make a difference in terms of that. You know, I still have my own little crowd, like group of guys that I hang around with, but still the moment was quite traumatising because it was in front of the whole year. That shit legit could, like, that could be a scene in a movie or something if you was to look at it that way. Like say, because sometimes you see that, like when you see like high school movies and that, you could that type of embarrassing bullshit would probably happen in a movie. That was the extent of what it was like. Seen a vid of Gaz pour water on himself. Where did you see that, Sebastian? Yeah, that was like my prime rage, wasn't it? It was just like the start of the stream. I just kind of let loose and I was just like, fuck it. I was like, fuck it, I'm pissed off, let's just do something crazy. And then everyone found it hilarious. It's just so out of the blue. Music stream guys. Oh yeah, I'll music studio to use. I'll show you in a minute. I'll have to close the. I'll have to view the chat in my phone though, because the sounds won't work with the internet open. Because I need to use a different sound driver. How many friends are in your group? It wasn't like a massive group, but it was there was quite a few people, quite a few. It must have been about 10 to 20 of us. That kind of used to go to the same place quite a lot of the time. But we definitely weren't the most popular, but some of us were some of us were talented at sports and running and badminton, a bit of football, and some of them were okay at tennis as well. Like, we weren't mugs. Do you know what I mean? Like, we weren't like, you know, that stereotypical nerd group that can't fucking do any sports. We weren't the most popular guys, but some of us knew sports and knew how to play them. So we weren't shit. Like, we could hold our own if we do sports, do you know what I mean? And that was the problem, because we weren't really the most popular and we didn't really like arseholes too much, and we just kind of gone on about our own business. There was that judgment like put on a lot of us, you know, oh, it's him, he's not part of our group, so he can't be very good at something, when reality is, you know, a lot of them were probably better than some of the popular groups. There were guys good at cross country in our group, there were guys good at badminton, there were some guys good at tennis, table tennis, some guys were really good at, you know, some guys that were good at football that in our group. So yeah, like we weren't like a non-athletic group of guys, because some of us were really talented, and you know, unfortunately the popular people, because we weren't as popular as them, they just automatically assume you're not talented at all. It was that, as I said, like kind of social prejudice, just automatically assuming that you're not good at anything purely because you're not popular socially. I'm doing I'm 2 squads away from completing Moments Makalele. Nice. I need to know what he's like actually, that Moments Makalele. Is he like really OP? Do some 81 packs. I don't think I've got the coins because I've... Hang on a minute, I need to sell on my players actually. What about on Insta? Oh yeah, I was showed that. Don't tell me that's gone viral on Instagram. Don't tell me that's on a page. If that has... Oh my god. Sebastian, please don't tell me that was a viral one. Please. Please tell me it's just on like a small page and it has like 5 likes or something. Don't tell me it's got like fucking like 4,000 likes. Imagine that. What happened after the assembly? Did you get slated? No, not really. No, I didn't get slated after the assembly. Nothing really happened after that. I just had those laughs during the assembly, and you know, nothing really happened. You know, it was just one of those things that happened in the moment, and no one really spoke of it much since then. But I fucking remembered it. Because it happened to me. I was the one fucking bastard that out of everybody in that whole hall that happened to. So of course I'm going to remember that. What do you think of Aguero leaving? Yeah, I don't know. It seems he's coming towards the end of his career now. City are kind of moving on. He's not what he was like 6 years ago, is he? So did you play GTA 4 with those guys? A few of them, yeah. I don't think all of them played, I think some of them played Xbox, some of them were on PlayStation. But yeah, so I think I only played GTA 4. I must have played with about. I must have played about 2 or 3 of them on GTA 4. That was all though. Did that affect you with the ladies, or were you still? Well, in school, I didn't really. I wasn't really interested in any of the girls in school. Well, after the first year, I was interested in a few, but especially one. But I, in the end, didn't bother. But from the second year on to up until the last year, I didn't want to know, because kind of everyone just kind of became a bit like annoying, really. But the group we was with, the group I was with, I don't think there was many girls that used to come and. It was a little bit of a cockfest, our group. It sounds a bit ridiculous, but I think it was. It was only every so often, like a few girls would come along and talk to us, but I don't think, they weren't really properly like part of our group or anything. So yeah, like most of our group, it was just like a group of us guys. Yeah, most of the time it was alright. You're on TikTok now too. God, don't tell me that's gone viral. There's perfect work rates, guys. Low high, can let you know. Yeah, low high, Jesus. Yeah, honestly, I'd really. As soon as I knew he was getting in the game. I don't know whether he got introduced in 20 or 21, but I knew he'd be a very good card. He was like a really good player for Chelsea. Do you guys think Gallas should be an icon as well? I think he should be. I remember Gallas. He went to Arsenal for a bit, didn't he? But he was also really good at Chelsea. All the attractive girls in my year at school all ended up smoking, so that was enough. Yeah, that was a factor. Well, not for me, but that was a factor. Like I didn't want to know anyway, but that definitely happened in my school too. It became like the thing, wasn't it? Like the people that smoked were like the best people, supposedly. Gallas. He's definitely not in the game, but William Gallas, yeah, William Gallas. He should definitely be an icon. I think he'd be a really overpowered card if he was in the game. I don't know when he retired, but if he was in the game, definitely, I think people would want him. If I could see what his height was and everything like that, it'd be interesting to see what his card would be like. What is he doing now anyway? Yeah, I think he's just getting on with life, isn't he? I don't know if he's a coach or anything now. But he was, I really liked him. He was a great player. Oh, he went to Spurs as well, I didn't know that. His best time was at Chelsea, I think, wasn't it? Then he went to Arsenal for a while, and then must have gone to Spurs as well. Do you have Instagaz? Yeah, it's in my description. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Yeah, no, that's just school, though, isn't it? That's just the way it is. You know, when you're that age, that's the mindset, isn't it? Like we all had our own immaturities, didn't we, when we were that age? I mean, I had my own immaturities. You know, I certainly wasn't perfect in school. You know, I was a bit of an idiot too. But that's just the mind. That is the mindset. That is the way it is. But at the same time, it's still at that time you can still tell. You know, there's something ridiculous going on, even when you are that age and not as mature. You can still tell, can't you? So yeah, I mean, like you said, remember being taken the mick off rejecting someone who asked if I wanted to smoke. Yeah, exactly. That it's like they kind of peer pressure you into doing it. It's like if you say no, like all of a sudden they call you a pussy and all sorts, and it's like the only people that smoke are not pussies, and you know, you have to start smoking in order to not be known as a fucking pussy and all that shit. That's just like the way it is, like the immature mindset. Unfortunately, that was the way it was. Like almost everywhere. That John Terry icon. Oh yeah, he should definitely get one. John Terry. The other thing about John Terry is the Wayne Bridge incident, cheating on his wife a few times. Maybe that's why he hasn't got one. Yeah, but Ryan Giggs has got one. No, I think the only reason why John Terry hasn't had one is because you know, it just hasn't got round to happening yet. It will happen at some point. Uni is even worse for smoking, but the majority stop when they're older. Yeah, and then the drinking too. The drinking in uni, fuck me, can imagine. But uni's different, people are a bit older. You know, they should have a little bit more understanding. If they still have that same level of understanding that people in school have, and they still look at that in the same way, even at uni, that I have no words if some people are like that. Some people are still like that at uni, and they call you a pussy for not drinking or not smoking. Then seriously, they need to check themselves if they're still like that, like when they're a bit older. Like it's acceptable when it's a little bit more acceptable when you're younger, isn't it? Because because everyone's a little bit more immature in school. So everybody, you know, if anyone did anything stupid, at least they can be like, well, I was younger then, I was a little bit more immature. But if you stay the same for fucking years and years later, then there's clearly something wrong, you know. So that's what I mean. If uni is even worse for that, then I fucking have no words. I have something wrong with my vision. I even use glasses. Don't know if I have to do a treatment, guys. Hopefully I'll get the help I need, but I feel not great with it. Yeah, definitely get that checked as soon as you can, Benjamin. What do you reckon it is? Sorry, I didn't say that. What do you reckon it must be, Benjamin? Maybe like the lenses on your glasses probably don't fit the what your eyes need. I remember one time I did something stupid when I was younger, like when I was in school. Like I went for an eye test. I mean, I think it was like a certain point I was like getting like quite a few headaches and stuff, and I went for an eye test. And I kind of faked it a little bit, like a fucking little shit, just so I could get like my own pair of glasses. So I did an eye test, and I'm like pretending, like, you know when you read those like letters on the wall, like I'm pretending that I couldn't see some of them. So they were like, yeah, right, here are your glasses. And then when I actually like put the glasses on and tested them out, everything looked fucking a little bit, like not fully blurry, but just a little bit blurry. It looked worse on the, like while I was wearing the glasses than it did when I wasn't. Like my eyes were completely fine. It was silly. That was stupid. My eyes have always been fine, touch wood. But yeah, I faked it one time. You get slated at uni if your body count isn't above 30. What do you mean by body count? I must be behind on that. I don't know what you mean. Maybe I'm being stupid. And you're saying no, I don't know. Maybe I'm completely unaware of that. Oh my god. You couldn't see him, you said yes. So the opposite. There's you trying to escape wearing glasses, and there's me actually trying to get a free pair of glasses. I actually got a pair of glasses out of it. It was fucking ridiculous. It's amazing how you can fake it. It's amazing how you can fake it with that type of stuff. Because nobody can see through your eyes, can they? You can only explain what you see. So you can easily alter that explanation and get a fucking free pair of expensive, like you could pretend that you can barely see anything and have like the fucking biggest lenses, like in terms of adjusting your eyesight, like the most expensive pair of glasses, just because you like pretend that you can't see. It's actually ridiculous. It's crazy. I think opticians have probably tried to do something about that. God knows. But yeah, I definitely did that when I was a kid, just looking for my own little pair of glasses. for a laugh. Yeah, that is one thing that will never change though. People can never see through your eyes. Like in terms of what the opticians give you, the opticians cannot see through your eyes. So they can think that you have really bad eyesight when you don't, purely because you faked it. Oh my god, it's crazy, isn't it? Anybody can legitimately do that, guys. You can actually get a free pair of glasses if you do that. It's actually crazy. There's other pollen allergy, I know, which makes my eyes a bit red sometimes. That's what I know so far. Oh, okay. Yeah, because sometimes it can make your eyes get like really swollen and bad too. I have a pollen allergy too. I've had hay fever for the last few years. Pretty bad. I remember I had it on stream one time. I was doing FUT Champs and I had like loads of fucking tissues. I showed everyone on camera the amount of tissues I had. Like my hay fever was that bad. Like all day my nose was running. It just would not stop. It lasted all day. And I remember going to check like the weather and everything, you know, around that time, and apparently there's like a massive pollen bomb or something. Obviously not like an actual bomb, but you know when it, you know, in terms of the figure of speech, there was like a big pollen bomb that day. So that's probably why my hay fever was so bad that day. My nose would not stop running all day. It just never stopped. It was actually horrible. So yeah, I've got to prepare for that this year. But hopefully I won't get it as bad. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see when summer comes to see if I start getting bad hay fever symptoms. I'd had it bad last year, but I would like to think it's disappeared over the winter, but it's probably hasn't. Sometimes even when I take a hay fever tablet, it doesn't work. Guys, do you drive a black Ford Focus? I remember Philip saying you did, or was he just joking? He's just joking. He's just joking. I don't even have a car. It'd be weird, like for my first car, I wouldn't even know what to have. I wouldn't want to buy something too nice for my first car, especially if you just started driving. You've got to be careful, haven't you? If you buy a car that's too nice, like, you could fuck it up because you only just started. You've got to be so careful. It's got to settle for something like decent to start off, and then. But yeah, personally, like for me, I don't see the point in buying anything too nice. As long as you've got like something good, something that looks okay. It doesn't have to be too nice. You don't have to splash out all your money on getting like the nicest car out there. You don't have to. So yeah, for me personally, like within my own life situation, I would just get something decent, something I like. It doesn't have to be anything too special, but something that I like myself. Not everybody has to like it, but something I find that looks nice. and reasonable, and then have that. Yeah, I wouldn't want something like completely bad, but just something that I like. I started driving when COVID came. Yeah, another thing about driving, I'm a little bit worried about it because, like, I just worried, like, what if a fucking accident happens or something? Like, it would worry me. It would actually worry me a little bit. Like, you want to be safe from the roads and shit, don't you? And, you know, when you're actually driving, you don't know when some bullshit could end up happening to you. Anyway, I'm going to open my stream on my phone. Oh, my upper back is actually hurting a little bit because I'm sitting up for so long. I need to like sit back a little bit. Oh my god. I'm just sitting up on the bed and I'm like, my back's aching. Like my upper back. Like the muscles in my upper back must have like, it's like keeping me up this whole time. They're not getting any rest. My back's not enjoying this. It's really not. I feel the ache. How long have I been sitting up like this for? God. Nearly 2 hours. Probably more. Yeah, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Fuck. What are you planning to say for my swaps? 83, the 83 times 25 pack. You passed your driver's license? No, I've not got a driver's license. Not got around to it. Because I haven't got around to starting to drive. I mean, I've told you guys about the way my life's gone, like in the last, say, well, since the academy thing. You know, like struggling with, struggling with working and like social anxiety and that. And you can see why. You know, that's why I haven't worked or, I haven't got myself a car or anything or learned to drive. Because I've tried to get on with life within my own space, which has either been a good thing or a bad thing, probably both. Because one, it's got me a YouTube channel, but two, I've not had like a proper like job or a wage because of it. Had an accident on my third lesson. I stalled at the traffic lights and the bus behind me went straight into the back of the car. Oh yeah, so he wasn't expecting it to stop so suddenly. Oh god. Emergency stop is really scary, guys. You need to really slam on the brake and clutch at the same time. And you nearly go through the front window. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, because when you hit the brakes hard on the car, it fucking stops straight away, doesn't it? It's powerful. It's really powerful. Because I have actually driven a car once. Like through like a little experience kind of roadshow thing. And Like I was driving for a little bit really slowly, and then I put my foot on the brakes to stop. I didn't realise how powerful the brakes were. I put the foot on the brake straight away, and then the car just fucking boom, like. And the instructor next to me like goes forward and was like, I can tell in his head he was like, what the fuck was that? He didn't tell me to brake softly. Like nobody told me to brake softly. I just put the brake down really fast. The car just like jumped forward. And there was a few other students in the back, like from the who were in my class at the time, and they laughed about it after we got out, because you know, I asked them, I was like, what was it like at the back, like when I did that? And they were just like, yep, it was a little bit of a scary moment for us. Just like a fucking jump forward. But yeah, the brakes are powerful, aren't they? They are really powerful. When you brake, you've got to like gradually push it down. Not like too slowly, but depending, just got to just be slow with it. They should tell you to brake softly. I blame the instructor for that. Yeah, like there's a car in front of me, right? So I'm you know, I need to stop. I'd never driven a car before in my life, so there's me thinking, okay, well if I just put the brakes down, like just press it down, like not like full on, but just press it, just get enough emphasis on it so the car would actually stop. I didn't realise it fucking stop dead on and jump everything forward. Like, oh god. So yeah, next time I did it softly and it was all fine, but yeah, I'd say the instructor's definitely got to be the blame for that. The instructor jumped forward as well, like in the passenger seat next to me. And the two guys at the back must have been thinking the same behind me. Oh my god. I was only, yeah, I was 16 when I was doing that. It's like, it's weird, like on GTA, I know it sounds stupid, but when you're on GTA and you hold the brakes on the game, the left trigger, you press it down fully, don't you? Just so the car slows down a little bit. You've got to press the brake down fully on the game. So there's me kind of thinking, all right, let's just press it down firmly, and then the brakes will work. But you know, it's not like that, is it? It was just like a fucking, like a dead-on stop. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Yeah, I think if I drive it, it'd just be an automatic. Automatic can be dodgy though. They can go a bit funny. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. Luck is on my side. I'll remember that name. I took my driver license on manual, but I drive on automatic all the time now. Imagine the instructor slammed his head onto the window or something. Yeah, I know. I remember looking at his face and he was... I don't think he was best pleased. I remember it pretty well, actually. But I could just see the surprise in his face after I did it. It's actually hilarious. He's got to tell me. He's got to tell me. Just one of those moments of craziness. He just must have forgot to tell me how to brake. He probably told me about everything else, but just accidentally left the brake thing out, and then that's gonna happen. Just tuned in, guys. I didn't say anything. No, I'm just waffling on about shit, about random stuff. We got 2 icon swaps done anyway. What was the first car you ever drove? Oh no, I've only ever driven one car. I forgot what car it was. I forgot what car I drove that day. See you soon, Benjamin. Hopefully you'll be fine with what's going on with your eyes and everything like that. Definitely his fault if he told you to brake softly. You've remembered to for sure. Yeah, I just wasn't told. I'm just oblivious, aren't I? I was just oblivious to it. I'm thinking, you know, you put the brakes down firmly, it's gonna, you know, it's like a bicycle, isn't it? Like you, on the handlebars, you pull the brakes, and it takes a little while for the bike to brake, doesn't it? To stop. So I kind of did that on the car, but not realising how powerful the brakes were. It's just hilarious how the jump happened. It must have been so unexpected for everybody in the car at the time. Like all 4 of us. The 2 guys from my class at the back. There's the instructor next to me. All of us just like sitting there all innocently thinking I'm just going to stop softly, and then just all 4 of us jump forward like that. Unexpectedly. It's so funny thinking of it. Like 2 seconds before that, like none of us are knowing what's going to happen. One random jump forward. Oh my god. Stuff like that it cracks me up, it does. Just the unexpectedness of it. Right, so what's this? Minimum, oh yeah, I did this before. Yeah, it's quite easy, this. Did the people in the back smash their head on the seat? No, they didn't. It must have been quite close, though. It must have been quite close. Yeah, when I look back on it, I do find it hilarious because none of us expected it. Oh, we just go Chinese League actually. I need 1 rare player. Been done arms out for ages. Yeah, I haven't done it for like 2 weeks. Man, the instructor's head hit the windshield and cracked it. No, no. I mean, obviously it's just you're just joking, but yeah, the reality is he's sitting there, he jumps forward, and then I see the surprise in his face, like what he's thinking to himself, like, what the fuck was that? Like, just thinking, what has this guy just done? Like that was a funny thing as well. The big jump forward and the big surprise in his face. Oh my god. Guys, were you giggling for the whole journey? I was laughing. I did find it funny for quite a while after that, yeah. Like, those types of things make me giggle. I just start laughing and I keep on thinking about things like that, like after it happens, because it was so unexpected. Just keep on reimagining the moment. And yeah, I think for a while I kept on laughing about it, yeah. I can imagine I did. I can definitely imagine so. Right, 2, 3. Okay. Anyone now? Oh yeah, we need an extra German player. There you go. The instructor probably thought you hit a car in front or something. Yeah, God knows what he thought. God knows what he thought. In the end, I think he must have known it was my braking. Like, because I think I said sorry after that happened. I was like, oh shit, like, sorry, like, what have I done? But at the time it's happened, he must have thought, what the fuck? Like, I definitely had to ask the two guys in the back, like, what it was like for them as well. And it was a response I imagined. They were both like, they were both like, what the fuck? Like in a funny way. Like they were laughing about it. Just laughing at the unexpected, like, knock forward. Yeah, that was my first year of college. That was a good year. That was a good year, much better than the fucking bullshit second year I had in the academy. At least we've got boards here. Oh, it has to be untradeable. You sound like a total badass. Why? What, just because of a car story? It was funny though. I'm probably going to think about that when I get to bed later, and I'm going to giggle about that. Stuff like that. I remember one time I was on holiday with my friend like years ago. Must have been about 8 years ago. And I was. God, you guys are probably going to laugh at this. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I was just on holiday with my friend, and it was a really nice holiday. I really enjoyed it. It was great, and I think we was in like a bar watching the football, and we sat in there and watched the match and had a bit of food and had some drinks and stuff. And then when we came out and to drive away, me and my friend was sitting in the back seat, like waiting for his parents to like put stuff in the boot, and they put in a few bags and stuff in the boot, and when they finished putting the things in the boot, my friend's dad got up a bit too quick and then bashed his head on the top of the boot. It was like a really big hit. Like he must have been seeing stars like for a little bit, and it must have been horrible for him. I know it must have been horrible, like, because it's painful. Obviously, everyone knows what it's like when you hit your head on something, but like, because I was like in the back seat and hearing it behind me and seeing it in the corner of my eye, I just couldn't, like, it was, I knew it was bad for him, and I did feel bad for him, obviously, because it's a painful thing, but in the back of my mind I was in the back of my mind I could not stop laughing. I had to like really hold back from laughing, because I didn't want to laugh at like my friend's dad after he's just bashed his head, do you know what I mean? Like I held back and everything like that, but I think for a few days after that I kept on thinking back at it and giggling about it. Just could not stop giggling about the whole thing. Did he make a big noise? I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, it was. He was. It was really bad. And like, I think a few people like across the road like looked over because they were wondering like what happened. Like because he like bashed his head and like screamed a little bit. Like a few people like the other side of the street are looking like, whoa, what's happened? I couldn't stop giggling about that for a few days. Just like rethinking like the whole scenario. Just once again an unexpected moment, just unexpectedly like bashing the back of his head on the top of the boot. I giggle at stuff like that so much. I must have heard the hit of his skull smashing onto the steel. Oh god, oh god knows. Yeah, he just got off a bit too quick, didn't he? It's easily done. Got off a bit too quick and just bashed the head on the boot. It's horrible for it. I remember, like, I think we went on holiday like a year later after that, and you know, and we was laughing about it like a year later. It was just yeah. I mean, I know it was a bad situation. I know it was like not nice for him, like obviously getting his head, like hitting his head and that. But he saw the funny side of it as well, though. You know, in the end, obviously not while it happened, but you know, it was quite a moment. Yeah, little moments like that are just brilliant, aren't they? Obviously, I feel bad for him, but it's just the comedy of the situation. You just can't you can't not find something like that funny. Like little things like that, just they destroy me. His head got wrecked. No, it's just, yeah, it's just. I don't think it did. Like, luckily, it didn't do any damage. I mean, if it was like serious, if it was like anything too bad, like where like he starts bleeding and all that stuff, then fair enough. Like, that's not funny at all. But because he was fine, you know, it kind of gives you the go ahead to see the comedy in it. Every time you've seen him after that, Gaz, did you think back to that? No, not really. But I've mentioned it to him a few times. I had a few laughs with him about it every so often. Like, yeah, it was just a really funny moment. Just one of those classic moments. I mean, some of you, I'm pretty sure you guys have had moments like that. It's just the funny thing is, just from my perspective, being in the back seat and then it happening behind me was just that was just the icing on the cake for me. I just had to be in the back seat while that was happening. Just innocently sitting there and then all of a sudden, bang. Oh my god. Just unexpected things kill me, they really do. In terms of laughter. Like the break-in situation and then that bang to the head. I giggle at stuff like that. Almost too much. Gonna miss Claude. Gonna miss seeing Claude and Tyler together from AFTV. Yeah, it's already sad, isn't it? I still need to see confirmation of what actually happened to him. I don't know whether that's going to get released or not, but he was only tweeting yesterday, wasn't he? He only did like a stream like a few days ago. It's crazy how that's happened. What was your favourite zombie film? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really seen many zombie films. It's probably, actually, when you think of it, when I look back, it's I Am Legend, isn't it? That's kind of like a zombie film, isn't it? What a film I Am Legend is. I haven't seen that in ages. I Am Legend with Will Smith. That's kind of like a zombie film, innit? That has to be my favourite then. It's the only thing I can think of when it comes to like a zombie type film. I hated the part when he had to kill his own dog though. because his dog caught the virus, didn't he? And he had to strangle him. That was the most horrible moment, the saddest moment. Because he had to do it. He had no choice. He had no choice. The dog was just about to kill him because he was turning into one of them zombies. So he's had to kill his own dog. That was the most horrible. That was the saddest one. Saddest moment of that film, definitely. If he didn't do it, he'd have been killed. So yeah, you just see Will Smith kind of strangling him, like not wanting to, but he has to. But yeah, what a film though! What a film! It's unbelievable, isn't it? It is a class film. I've got to watch it again. He runs at them with a grenade and kills them all. Yeah, he had to sacrifice himself, didn't he, to save the woman and her son or daughter. And he had the cure. He gave them the cure, didn't he? Yeah, what a film. If any of you guys haven't seen it, I'll probably spoil it a little bit, but I love Sylvester Stallone movies. Yeah, his film Daylight was on the other day. That's a really good film. It's so dramatic, isn't it? Obviously the same as I Am Legend. Like they're trapped under the tunnel, and there's like the water there, and he's trying to find a way out. And like they all start getting freezing cold, and yeah, God, it was on the other day. It was on the Sony movie channel though. That's the crazy, and they start going crazy because they all think they're going to die. That's a really crazy film. If you haven't seen it, guys, definitely recommend it if you like Stallone films. Anyway, I think I'm going to head off now because I was thinking about doing a bit of music, but it's too late now. I'll probably see if I can do a bit of that tomorrow after I complete the second set of icon swaps. George A. Romero films are my favourite. Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Oh, yeah. You know what's funny? I have not seen Dawn of the Dead, but I've seen Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is more of like a comedy, version of it, but it's still kind of horrible. It's still kind of gory and bad. Did you ever watch Snakes on a Plane? I think I did. There was. I think that was. I saw a film one time. It was about something on a plane, and like some woman's daughter went missing or something on a plane, and everybody's trying to convince her that she did not bring her daughter on the plane. You know, it was like a real conspiracy. Like the people on the plane kidnapped her daughter, right? And then everybody's trying to tell her, no, you did not bring a daughter on your plane. You haven't got a daughter. What are you on about? So they're trying to make her think that she's crazy, when she definitely brought one. I forgot what that's called. That film. And in the end, she got her daughter back. I don't know what it's called, but it was something to do with a plane ride. They're just trying to get her to give up. Like saying, you haven't got a daughter, like, she's not real. I just can't remember what that film was. So guys, where was the daughter? I don't know, it was kidnapped somewhere. She was kidnapped somewhere on the plane. And she got the daughter back in the end. I cannot remember. I've got to see if I can Google it and find it. But like, it got to the point where the woman thought she was going crazy. She's like, it got to the point where everybody's telling her that, you know, this daughter of hers is just imaginary. So she, like, I think during the film at some point she's like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe I just haven't. Maybe like she was just thinking, maybe I'm just imagining it, and all this was me being crazy. Just like one of those like mind game films. If I type in lost daughter plane, lost daughter on plane movie, there we go. What's it called? Flight Plan. There we go. It's called Flight Plan, guys. Give that a watch. That's it. There we go. A bereaved woman and her daughter were flying home from Berlin to America at 30,000 feet. The child vanishes and nobody will admit she was ever on the plane. That was it. It's only got 3 stars in the rating, but in terms of the psychological aspect, it was a really good watch. So yeah, I just had to search that on Google, Lost Daughter on a Plane film, and then there it comes up, Flight Plan. Have you seen Castle with Tom Hanks? No, I've seen Angels versus Demons with Tom Hanks. That was on the other day as well. That's another psychological film. The ending when they get rescued is emotional. Oh, what in you mean in Daylight? Yeah, that was crazy. Just so glad they all survived in the end. A few people didn't though, did they? The sad thing in Daylight as well, the dog didn't survive, did he? Or did the dog survive? Did they find the dog in the end? Or did they lose him? Because I remember when I saw it the other day, they had to swim underwater to get to one of the. All of them had to take an underwater journey to get to another part of the tunnel to escape. And the old guy had to take the dog with him, but then the lead broke off and then lost the dog. I don't know if the dog found its way to escaping or if the dog was lost in the film. I don't know. I don't know if he came back or not. It was a really sad moment though, obviously the lead breaking off and they couldn't go back to find the dog. Dog died, I think it's never found again, so probably drowned. Yeah, I need to look at that. Did the dog survive in Daylight? Oh, here we go, look. both Daylight and Dante's Peak were written by Leslie Bohem. In both movies, the audience is led to believe the dog has died after it disappears, but in both films, the dog reappears later and ultimately survives. So the dog did survive. Dog did survive. The dog reappeared and survived. Thank God. Yeah, because I saw the moment where the lead snapped and he couldn't go back to get his dog back. So you're thinking, like, you don't know whether the dog survives in the film or not, but he survived. Good old dog. But yeah, like, there were people in the film that did not make it. Yeah, it says in both films the dog reappears later and survives. Yeah, it must have came back later on in the movie. I just haven't watched the movie. Like, I didn't watch the end of it. Can't remember. Yeah, if you Google it, did the dog survive in Daylight? It says that it did. In both films. Thank God. Right, I'm going to head off now anyway, guys. I think I need to get to bed. I'll probably see if I can do a little bit of music tomorrow. I've got to complete more icon swaps. And then we're all good to go for Thursday. Or Friday. I might open the pack on Friday. For FUT Champions. Because of Team 2. I didn't like the scene where they abandoned George. Oh, what, when he broke his neck? Is that George? Is that the one that broke his neck? Yeah, that's the guy. Oh, that's the one with the broken neck. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was really sad because in the film, he had a woman in his life, didn't he? Yeah. In the film, he had a woman in his life, and he never got the chance to say that he loved her. So. Yeah, he's like left down there in the tunnel and can't move because he's got a broken neck, so he's never going to see her again. Yeah, that was really sad. So he gave, I don't know what Stallone's character's name is in it. He gave Stallone he gave him something to give to that woman, didn't he? Yeah, it was, yeah, really sad it was. They had to, Stallone wanted to get him out, but he couldn't do it because if the guy can't move, then it's almost impossible. What year? Oh, Daylight was released in 1996. The birthday Mangada would look very nice next to my headliners up in the car now. Yeah, that Mangada looks really good. He does look really good. With a shadow, that pace would be tasty. At least you know they tried to get him out. Yeah. Yeah, they did their best. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously just a movie, but still, like, you take it, when you watch it, you're taking it as if it's real, aren't you? And it's unbelievable acting when you think of it, isn't it? It's world-class acting. Yeah, stuff like that to me is I don't like over like dramatic moments, but you know, in films like that, you know, you need that, don't you? In those films, like, without that, what is the film? You know, you've got to have those really sad, kind of heart-wrenching stories, because that's what makes the film. That's what makes the film mean more. That's what makes the survival mean more. And how difficult it is to survive those situations. I mean, if everybody survived that, then what's the point in the film? Do you know what I mean? I don't like too much drama really, but yeah. But obviously in those films you've got to have that. Because when you're watching the film, you've got to understand, like, if everything's easy peasy in the film, what's the point? If everyone escapes, where's the interest? You know, there's no attachment there. Because it's got to be realistic as well. When you're in a situation like that, those things happen, don't they? And stuff like that. Like, those things happen. Like, unfortunate events do happen. So, I mean, it's really sad, but it's true, isn't it? So if a film is made where every single person survives, it's not going to be it's not really going to be a proper film then, is it? Has anyone seen Everest? No. I've seen the film with Stallone with the mountains though. I forgot what that's called again. That's a good film too. Another film with Stallone. What is that one called? I'm talking about Daylight with Stallone when they're stuck under the tunnel. Cliffhanger, there we go. Cliffhanger, Daylight. Two really good Stallone films. They're very dramatic and quite traumatizing because there's very very sad and disastrous moments happening in them, but they're both based on survival, and they're both based on survival, and it's just, yeah, they're just both really good films. I personally don't like drama, like, because, you know, it's too much. I prefer to watch things that make you happy and that, you know, but if you do want action / drama, then it's a cracker. Both of them films are. Do you ever watch Demolition Man 2? Yeah, I watched Demolition Man as well. That one's a little less dramatic. There was a few crazy moments on it, but that was nowhere near as bad as Cliffhanger or Daylight. That was kind of more based on action, kind of sci-fi, wasn't it? So I kind of prefer Demolition Man because it's less, not too much like heart-wrenching events happening in it. It's just kind of good action entertainment. Yeah, that moment in Cliffhanger where he like accidentally let her go and then she falls to her death. God, that was crazy. Right, I've got to head off now anyway, guys, because I'm going to be talking all night otherwise. Yeah, I just broke into a chat with everyone about everything. I was only supposed to do a bit of icon swaps, but I just got talking. Anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. It's really nice chatting to you guys. I like it when we do this. When we just chat about shit. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for more icon swaps, and then rewards on Thursday, and then FUT Champions on Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'll be back tomorrow for some more. And I'm getting really tired now, so yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Good night, appreciate it. See you soon.